This kid ran a crazy summer hustle. His neighbor's name was Mr. Henderson.
I'm Mr. Henderson.
And he had just left for a 2-week camping trip, but he left his in-ground pool unattended. Most kids would sneak over for a quick dip. This guy had a different idea. He turned his neighbor's backyard into a literal water park, and he charged every kid on the block $5 for a day pass. Step right up, water park day pass is $5. And people were paying. It was immediately a full-blown operation. There was a cooler full of sodas, there were folding chairs everywhere, and the front yard was a pile of bikes. And these two guys were by the gate, collecting $5 bills. On day 4, the party was at its peak. 15 kids in the backyard, cannonballs, Marco Polo. Some dude fired up Mr. Henderson's grill and was making hot dogs. Then, Mr. Henderson shows up.
What in God's name is going on back here?
You see, obviously, one of the other neighbors called Mr. Henderson to let him know what was going on. So he came back from his trip super early. Backyard was dead silent. But what Mr. Henderson did, nobody expected. You, come here.
Yes?
Listen, I'm going back camping. Okay, you can stay here as long as you clean up every day, and by the time I get back, it needs to be spotless. You understand? Yeah. Stay out of my house too, but have fun. And that was that. For the rest of the 2 weeks, those kids had the most fun they've ever had on a summer break. And yeah, that sounds awesome. It's the first day of a new semester, and this teacher is having everybody in class give a personal story, one by one, and they had 10 minutes to think of one. Then each student comes up to give their 3-minute introduction speech. Normal stuff, but obviously people are panicking. But they came up with their stories, like summer jobs, broken bones, embarrassing vacations. Well, one girl instantly raises her hand. I'll go first. Okay, I like your enthusiasm. Get on up here. She's confident and she is smiling. She walks to the front of the classroom. She starts talking about how her parents owned a retiring home, how they worked hard and built their business from the ground up. She said how the retirement home had these huge aquariums in the lobby filled with fish. The whole room's nodding. Oh, that's sweet. This is a nice story. But then she says, yeah, me and my brother got bored one day, so we smashed the aquarium glass. People looked up like, grabbed a fork from the kitchen. The teacher's like, and stabbed each fish one by one. The class is horrified. She then smiles and says, so yeah, that's my story. Nobody clapped, the teacher had no idea what to say, and nobody talked to her for the rest of the year. Yeah, I wouldn't either. She sounds insane. Every school has that one kid who is super talented at something random. At this one school, his name was Marcus, and he was amazing at flipping water bottles, but not the normal way. He was able to flip these water bottles and have them land on their cap on crazy surfaces, like the edge of a chalkboard. Watch this. Nice. He made it look so effortless that this one kid in his class wanted to try it for himself. It was study hall, very quiet, and he's sitting there. He's got a half-empty Gatorade bottle, and he's thinking to himself, this is my chance. I'm gonna flip this bottle, land it on its cap on the teacher's desk. You see, Marcus was in this study hall as well. Oh, this kid went for it, gave it a flip. Marcus is getting so impressed. Here we go. It was like slow motion. Flip, flip, flip. But suddenly, the cap fell off. He didn't tighten it enough. And this Gatorade just spills all over the teacher's desk.
What the heck is your problem?
He panicked. Marcus did it, Marcus said. But no, I didn't, bro. The teacher said, yeah, I don't believe that. Marcus is a god at flipping bottles. The teacher knew how good Marcus was. He didn't believe this kid for a second. I'll take myself to the office. Yeah, that's a good idea. Tough break. You must clean the dish before you put it in the dishwasher. What? Kenny's mom had this incredibly specific belief that the dishwasher was only meant for sanitizing, not cleaning. If you put a plate in there with a smear of sauce on it, she would pull each and every dish out of there, give you a lecture, and make you wash every dish before you put it back in. Kenny, look at this. A smudge of barbecue sauce. Take these all out, rewash them, and put them in the dishwasher. Kenny spent 45 minutes every single night scrubbing clean plates and cups before putting it in the machine. He'd be there scrubbing, looking at it. Mom, it's literally called the dishwasher. Can't we just start putting them in there and that's it? No, Kenny. He does this for years. Scrub dish, put dish in dishwasher, dishwasher run, dish done. One day he goes to his friend Steve's house. They have dinner there. His mom takes all these greasy, messy, nasty plates and puts them directly in the dishwasher. Huh, so Steve, your mom just puts them in the dishwasher? Yeah, it's a dishwasher, Kenny. It washes the dishes.
Bruh.
Kenny then realized he spent years doing a pointless task because of his mom's OCD. Mom, Steve's dishwasher cleans their dishes just fine. Yeah, well, Steve's family probably shares a shower towel, so.
What do you mean by that?
Jeez. This kid rode his bike to a grocery store. Yeah, he's using some of his summer job paycheck money to buy some snacks, chips, and sweets. He buys them, goes outside, and sets down the bag while he's unlocking his bike. Yeah, set you right here, unlock the bike. When he unlocks his bike and looks around, the bag is missing. What is it? That's when he sees this kid, younger than him, stuffing the stuff in his backpack. And the kid runs home. Yo, what the heck? That's it, I'm gonna follow him. He takes his bike and follows his kid to his house, knocks on the door. The mom answers. Yes? He stays calm. Yeah, your son took my stuff. I got some groceries and some snacks. I saw him put it in his backpack and run away. I just want it back. My kid would never steal. I saw him do it. If you don't leave my house right now, I'm calling the police because of harassment. Well, he doesn't leave. They call the police, and 5 minutes later, the cops show up. They hear both sides. They then say, "Kid, open your backpack, please." Okay. And there the stuff was. Chips, sweets, everything. Yeah. Give it back, please. Give him the stuff bag. Cops leave, the mom shuts the door in this kid's face, and they go their separate ways. But that's so embarrassing for that mom. That kid didn't learn anything, because a couple days later, he went to the guy's house that he stole stuff from, and he threw eggs at it. What a little jerk. She's 20 years old, still living at home. She's in college. That's me. She's got 5 younger siblings. Almost every single day, she is the one cooking, cleaning, and driving the kids around. In this house, that's just how it works. Well, one night she gets home late. Her class gets done at 7:30. Normally she's home by 8, but on this day she stayed to talk to the professor a bit. No big deal, right? But she came home late. Walks in the house around 9:15. I cannot believe you. Her mom is super mad. The sink's full of dishes, there's no dinner. One of the kids had to be picked up from practice by somebody else. The mom says, "You are absolutely useless." Excuse me? Her feelings were obviously hurt because she is definitely not useless. She does so much for her family every single day. Well, after her mom said that, she didn't fight, she just went right to bed. The next morning, she doesn't wake anybody up like she usually does. She doesn't drive anybody to school. And she doesn't make dinner that night. And then she does it again and again and again. And the house starts failing. Dishes are piling up, laundry doesn't get done, kids are missing school. Now everybody's angry at her. This is your fault. This is your fault. Useless. Milk. She realized all these things she was doing were expected of her. And when she stopped doing it, nobody stepped up to take over. They blame her. And shortly after that, she moved out. And her family hasn't talked to her since. That's messed up. This could have been so bad. In this one class, he used to sit in the same seat every single day. Front row in the middle, nothing too special about it. Well, one particular morning, he noticed the person that usually sits right to the left of him was absent. So there was an empty desk right there. And he decided for that day he was gonna sit there. Class then starts like normal. About 25 minutes in, there's a large crack. Then another. Then the overhead projector that is directly above his normal seat falls down and crashes onto that empty desk. That could have been you. Yeah, I know. And it went down fast. The desk was now cracked. Imagine if he was sitting there. The room was frozen, like holy crap, this could have been horrible. Maintenance comes in, they pick it up, they make sure nobody's hurt, and then they just go on about their day. But that day could have gone a whole lot differently if his classmate wasn't sick, and if he decided he wasn't gonna switch seats. But he did, and life went on. Somebody's looking out for him. When he was 7, he did something so dumb. It was a public swimming pool. Family locker room, wet floors, benches everywhere. This kid's in there and he notices something sitting under a bench. What is it? It's a thumbtack, just sitting there. Nobody was around, nobody was paying attention. Instead of picking this up and throwing it away, he takes it and places it pointy side up right in the middle of the floor. Then he goes away. About 30 minutes pass. Families keep moving in and out of the locker room, bare feet, and he starts to think to himself, maybe that was a bad idea. Maybe somebody could get hurt. So he goes back in, but he's way too late. Oh no. Oh, Mom, I'm bleeding. A kid had stepped right on it, and his foot was bleeding. Oh my God, what a horrible person would do something like this. The kid never said a word. He just stood there, panicking internally. You'll be okay, son. Whoever did this is a complete and utter idiot. I mean, yeah, that's pretty messed up. The school made an announcement.
Redesign the school logo and turn it in. The winner's logo gets to be the official logo.
Every art kid in the school goes feral. People busted out their iPads, sketchbooks. They're working really hard on trying to create this new school logo. But then there's Evan, Shibby, Evan doesn't care. His friend dared him to make something and turn it in. So Evan designs the dumbest thing that he could think of. A circle with a weird-looking bird inside of it that looks like it's mid-sneeze. That's so dumb. Here, he submits it. A week later, the principal gets on the school intercom. We have chosen our new school logo. Everyone report to the gym. Everyone goes to the gym. Everyone's eager to see whose logo made it. They did a countdown. 3, 2, 1. And then they projected it. It's Evan's frickin' doodle. The bird, the circle, the sneeze. The whole gym goes dead silent. And then everybody erupts. Oh, bro's a genius. Yo, Evan cooked. Make him class president. Teachers are clapping. They print it out on shirts. It's being sold at the sports games. It's on the website. It's on the gym floor. This logo is everywhere. And Evan becomes an absolute frickin' legend. I'm a frickin' legend. Yo, this is crazy. So one day, the beginning of school, students arrive and it's already chaos. Not a single classroom door in the entire school will open. Teachers are in the hallway jiggling their keys, yelling to the office, what is going on with this door? Yeah, mine's jammed too. What the heck? Well, it turns out, overnight, somebody broke into the school and hammered pennies into every single door keyhole. The principal comes storming down the hall, trying to use his master key on all the doors, but it wasn't working. Get maintenance now. The maintenance guy shows up with pliers. Yeah, we need more pliers, boss. We've been sabotaged. After a while, students have just been standing around, not knowing what to do, because the doors won't open to any classroom. Eventually, the school just decided to send all the students home. The teachers are livid, but the kids, they loved it. As everyone's leaving, they notice a bunch of locksmith vans begin to pull up. It was an entire operation. Dude, this is crazy. I know, but hey, no school today. Nobody ever found out who did it, but that day lives on as the day pennies canceled school. Nice. It's 7th grade and this kid Lucas brings a bunch of Costco gum to school. Tons of packs. Every single flavor. And he never made a big deal about it, but he would pull them out here and there so that people could see. And naturally, they would ask for a piece of gum. And when they did, 50 cents. Oh, I don't have any money right now. Oh, that's fine. Pay me later. And that was his thing. You know, at first, people were like, he's not gonna ask for that money later, you know? It's just a piece of gum. But that's where they were completely wrong. Because after he would give someone a piece of gum and say, pay me later, he would pull out a tiny notebook and write down the debt in that notebook. Everybody had a tab. Their name, their flavor, and how much they owed. But the thing is, he wanted this debt to grow. He would walk up to them. Hey, so you still owe me from last week, but I just got this crazy new watermelon flavor. You want a piece? I'll just put it on your tab. And he just kept stacking debt on top of debt on top of debt. Until finally he decided it was time to collect. He goes to the 2 biggest kids in class. Carl? Mordecai? Yeah. I'll give you 10%. Here's the list. Get me my money. And they would go around school with the list. Hey, you got Lucas's money? I'm here to collect. And these kids were big and intimidating, and people did pay him back. Lucas made like $175 before this whole thing was shut down. You gotta respect the hustle, I guess. Mr. Donnelly was the new history teacher. Perfectly combed hair, crisp tie, he was very well put together. Then one day, one kid finds him on a bodybuilding website. Apparently, Mr. Donnelly used to compete in bodybuilding competitions. Well, he saw this picture of him, spray tan, oiled up, posing like a bodybuilder, and his bodybuilding name was Titan Steel. Well, this kid tells a bunch of people in his class. And the next morning, good morning class, how are we doing today? Good morning, Titan Steel. He's shocked. Excuse me? Oh, sorry, Mr. Donnelly. And by lunch, everybody knew Mr. Donnelly's secret. Hey, Mr. Steel, you gonna bench the vending machine? What you got for lunch today, Titan? A bunch of chicken breasts and protein powder? Oh my god. And he's hearing it all day, every day, whispers of Titan Steel this, Titan Steel that. By January, he freaking snaps. If one more person says that name, I am quitting Titan Steel. The next day, he was gone and there was a sub. He actually quit that job. I guess he would rather be unemployed than be Titan Steel. Wow, that's absolutely insane. She liked this boy in her art class. Hi. Hey. The kid was quiet, he was funny, he drew comics in his sketchbook. Well, through a few of her friends, she found out that he lived a couple blocks away from her. Now, she was determined to get closer to this guy. She wanted to do something memorable. So one night at 4 a.m., she sneaks out of her house. She's barefoot, she's in a hoodie, and she's carrying a bag of garbage. She walks 3 blocks to this kid's house. Her heart is pounding. She really wants him to like her back. When she gets there, she takes the garbage bag and she dumps all of the garbage all over his lawn. She then rings the doorbell and sprints home. The next day in class, she overhears this kid talking. Hey, did anything weird happen to anybody else last night? No, why? Somebody dumped garbage all over my lawn at 4 a.m. and then rang my doorbell and ran away. And this was her chance. That was me. Oh, okay. Thanks. Of course. And he didn't talk to her for months after that. Why did she think that would work? That's absolutely insane. Every year this school had a field day. No classes, just games outside. Tug-of-war, relay races, popsicles at the end. It was everyone's favorite day. Well, this one year, everything started off perfect. Field day starting off perfect. Sunshine, kids in their colors, music blasting. But by lunch, storm clouds roll in. The teachers tried to squeeze in the last of the events before it starts to pour. Okay, one more race and then inside. Then boom. Thunder cracks. Rain starts pouring, the field turns to mud instantly. Well, the problem? The school locked every single side door because they wanted to funnel all the kids in and out of the main entrance. Well, the issue is the field that they were playing in was behind the school. So now hundreds of kids are slipping, sprinting, covered in mud. I lost my shoe. I can't even see. Where are my glasses? By the time they got back inside, everything was soaked. Mud everywhere. And the school day ended with students washing the mud off themselves in the bathroom and the janitors drying them down with leaf blowers. That's actually hilarious. This is my house and my rules. This one dad ran his house like a frickin' business. Instead of allowance, there was a chore system. Every Sunday night, he'd post a list on the fridge. Vacuuming, dishes, mowing, even stuff like wiping down the baseboards. All right, kids, this is your work week. Everything must be done by Friday. And here's the catch. If something wasn't done, or it was done poorly, you would owe him $5. And no, they weren't losing allowance. They didn't get an allowance. They would actually owe him $5. So Friday after work, he would come into the house. He had a clipboard, and he would check every single thing that he put on the chore list. Your bedroom trash can was still full. There was grass clippings all over the yard. That's $10 total. Didn't matter if you had a job or not. If you were in debt that Friday night, you had the weekend to figure it out, or else. One of his kids ended up mowing 3 neighbors' yards. Another one was begging for shifts at the local ice cream shop. Hey, can I please work a few hours today? Who are you? And if you didn't pay him by Sunday night, he would start taking stuff. Game controllers, headphones, even his kids' bikes. There was no limit. And that has to be the craziest thing I've heard in a long time. Come here, idiot. Not you again. Every single day at lunch, this same bully would walk by this kid. He would slam his lunch tray down and laugh. Oops, my bad. I guess you're eating off the floor again. The kid would just pick it up. He would try not to cause a scene, but it kept happening every single day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, finally this kid had enough. He snapped. One day he showed up to lunch with a shiny metal lunchbox. It looked normal and nobody thought twice. But inside the lunchbox were 2 heavy bricks. The thing was heavy, but he was carrying it around like it was normal. So here comes the bully. He's smirking. Hey, let me help you with your new lunchbox, lunch boy. Oh, okay. And just like every other day, the bully smacks the lunchbox. But right as the bully's hand hits the lunchbox, the kid lets go right above the bully's foot. My toe! I think it's broken. Oops, my bad. And the bully's toe was broken, but it was his own fault. After that day, he did not mess with this kid ever again. Yeah, good. Mr. Donnelly was the new history teacher. Perfectly combed hair, crisp tie, he was very well put together. Then one day, one kid finds him on a bodybuilding website. Apparently, Mr. Donnelly used to compete in bodybuilding competitions. Well, he saw this picture of him, spray tan, oiled up, posing like a bodybuilder, and his bodybuilding name was Titan Steel. Well, this kid tells a bunch of people in his class. And the next morning, good morning class, how are we doing today? Good morning, Titan Steel. He's shocked. Excuse me? Oh, sorry, Mr. Donnelly. And by lunch, everybody knew Mr. Donnelly's secret. Hey, Mr. Steel, you gonna bench the vending machine? What you got for lunch today, Titan? Bunch of chicken breasts and protein powder? Oh my god. And he's hearing it all day, every day, whispers of Titan Steel this, Titan Steel that. By January, he freaking snaps. If one more person says that name, I am quitting Titan Steel. The next day, he was gone and there was a sub. He actually quit that job. I guess he would rather be unemployed than be Titan Steel. Wow, that's absolutely insane. This teacher is insane for this. This class had just finished reading Lord of the Flies in English, and the teacher? Well, she was passionate, maybe too passionate. So after they had finished reading this Lord of the Flies, the next day she tells them this. Class, we are going into the woods tomorrow. Bring a backpack full of things. We're gonna live like the boys on the island. So next day they come with backpacks full of stuff and they head to the woods. No rules, no roles, just chaos. She hands them bandanas and points to the woods behind the school. All right, go. One teacher and 20 students, and these weren't just regular kids. Somebody brought a pillowcase full of flour and was whacking people with it. Another kid filled a spray bottle with perfume and was spraying in another kid's eyes, trying to blind them. Take that. Soon there was turf wars, alliances, groups getting ambushed. Kids were using mud as war paint. They were getting feral, and the teacher was just standing there at the edge of the woods watching this go down like it's some sort of social experiment. Yes. 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 And it went way too far. Kids were getting bloody noses, one person was throwing up profusely, I don't know why, and the teacher didn't get in trouble for this, not even like a warning or anything. The principal didn't even know about any of this until a parent called a couple days later, but he still did nothing. And the crazy part is, the next year, this teacher did the same exact thing. Honestly, that sounds kind of fun. This kid missed English class, first period. And he shows up to second period like nothing happened. People were wondering where he was. One of his friends leans in and asked, "Yo, why'd you miss English class? We turned in our essays today." And the kid just goes, "Oh, my cow was giving birth." Oh. He says it like it's the most normal thing ever. He still had mud on his boots, there was like hay coming out of his pockets, and he smelled a little weird. It was probably from that cow birth. People just nodded, like, okay, yeah, farm kid stuff. Okay. And so what if he missed English, you know? His essay wasn't gonna win any awards at the state fair anyway, but his cow might. Huh? Okay. When this dude was a kid, his mom made him memorize this phone number. Not hers, not his dad's, just the emergency number. He asked her once, "Whose number is this? If something bad ever happens and I'm not here, call this phone number." That was it. No explanation. So every week he would test himself. He would mouth the number silently in the mirror. He would write it over and over again in notebooks. It became this quiet obsession of his. Like he couldn't stop thinking that one day he was gonna have to remember this number. Well, years passed. He never called it until one day in college. It just hit him. Yo, something just hit me. He still remembered every single digit, so he called the phone number. Big Dan's Pizza and Wings. Hello? I said Big Dan's Pizza and Wings. It was a pizza place. So he called his mom, he told her that he finally called that one phone number, and all she had to say was, "Oh, that place is still open. We loved their salad." Like, what does that even mean? There's always that one kid in school that would do anything. Not for money or clout, just because. Well, at this school, there was one kid, and he would do whatever anyone dared him to do. Slap a kid with a piece of pizza? Alright. Take a dump in the urinal? I got you. Stand up on a lunch table in the middle of lunch and dump a chocolate milk on his head while he's screaming? He didn't just do it, he committed. People started testing him to see where the line was. I dare you to eat this ladybug, okay? I dare you to toss a spoonful of yogurt on the principal. That's easy. Yeah, there wasn't a line. He would do anything. But here's the weird part. In class, he was completely normal. Yo, what was the homework from yesterday? What was that small package he gave us? It's actually due tomorrow, but super easy. The last question's a trick question though, so be careful. But yeah, you guys should be fine. Let me know if you have any questions. Cool. Well, he didn't have any social media, no Instagram, no TikTok, no Snapchat. So after graduation, he disappeared. And nobody has seen him or heard from him ever since. 12 weeks, one chicken, and nobody found out. This happened at a farming boarding school, which, first of all, I had no idea a farming boarding school existed, but they do. One weekend, this student goes into town and comes back with a live chicken. A full-grown, living, squawking chicken. No one knows why. Nobody asks questions. All they know is that that chicken lives in his dorm now. He feeds it scraps. He names him Henry. You're such a good boy, Henry. No, you're a good boy. Stop. This went on for 12 weeks. 12 weeks of clucks, feathers, and somehow total secrecy from the authorities. No staff ever caught him, and the people living on the floor didn't say anything. Eventually, he let that chicken go back on a local farm. He was sad, but he planned to visit it, so 2 months after he dropped it off, he stopped by. "Hey, I'm here to see Henry." "Oh yeah, Henry! He died. A coyote ate him last night." Gnarly scene.
What?
His carcass is out back. You want to see it? No! Rest in peace, Henry. She banned calculators, then this happened. This teacher was a strict math teacher, one of those no calculator types, which is lame in my opinion because screw math. But anyway, class, you will never need a calculator if you're actually smart. She said that at least once a week, always with a little smirk. Like she's trying to be inspirational, but she just comes across as condescending. One day, she's flying through problems on the board, she's fast, she's confident, she's feeling herself. Okay, 12 times 6, that gives us 64. Eh? The kid in the back, Brady, raises his hand and goes, Miss, you mean 72, right? Excuse me? Yeah, you said 12 times 6 is 64. It's 72, miss. She looks at the board and she slowly erases it and changes it to 72. Awkward. Then Brady from the back goes, maybe you should use a calculator. Yeah, miss. What now? She's actually dumb. Yeah. He's a calculator, idiot. You smell like my dad. I need a new egg. Oh God, you can use mine. It's physics class. This kid named Frank has a presentation, and he needs an egg for some reason. Well, he brings one from home. Just one. Before class even starts, he sees a kid in the hallway that he doesn't like, and his genius self decided to throw his only egg at this kid. He makes me so mad. Ew, what the heck? So now class is about to start, and he's just like, oh God, no, I don't have an egg anymore. I'm gonna fail. I need to find an egg. That's when some random kid who was walking by in the hallway stops and says this to him. You can borrow my egg, huh? He laughed, thinking it was a joke, but it wasn't a joke. This kid pulls out a real egg, and it has a face drawn on it. This is my son, Leonardo. Be careful with him, please. I'm gonna meet you back here after class. He hands it over like it's a sacred little egg. Frank uses it for his presentation, and he passes. The egg doesn't break. But Frank was so relieved that this all went well, when he was getting up to leave the classroom, he accidentally knocked Leonardo on the ground, and Leonardo cracked, broke open. When he met the kid outside the classroom at the end, he just handed him bits of shells and yolk. Hey man, sorry, your egg broke. My bad, but thank you. Oh! Hey, Leonardo! My boy! So where's my daughter? Yeah. Well, we got good news and bad news. This happened the second day of kindergarten. Ella is 5 years old. It's her second day ever riding the bus. The bus route ends at the daycare, and that's where her mom picks her up after work. But on this particular day, the bus pulls up. The kids get off, except for Ella. The daycare staff looks around. Wait a minute, where's Ella? They called her mom. Hi, did you keep Ella home from school today? Because she's not here. What? No, she was in the bus this morning. The mom calls the school. Where is my daughter? She didn't get off her bus today. I have no idea. They had no idea. They panic. The mom panics. 15 minutes later, the school calls the mom back. Hi, we know where she is. we know where she is. She had fallen asleep on the bus. The bus driver never checked the seats. They drove the bus back to the bus depot and locked the bus inside of the garage and left. Ella wakes up alone. On a dark, silent bus, and she's absolutely horrified, as you can imagine. There's no lights, there's no voices. She starts screaming. Ah! Finally, a mechanic hears her and runs over. She's in tears, she's shaking, she's hugging her backpack. The school apologized, the bus driver got fired, and that girl never took a nap on a bus ever again.
Kiri mama, koi re তুই? কতক্ষণ ধরে দাঁড়ায় থাকমু? কনসার্ট তো শুরু হয়ে যাবে। তাইলে তো বন্ধু রিত লেগে গেল। আরে বেটা এত লাফাইস না, যেরকম শুনতেছি পরীর মতো এরকম করলে তো বেটা যা। পাল্লাটা ভালো। দেখা যাক কি করে শালা। বোবা। হ্যাঁ? কথা বলতে পারো না? জি। বিয়ান সাহেব। আসসালামু আলাইকুম বিয়ান সাহেব।
এক্সকিউজ মি?
তাই তো কেন ফোন যায় না? না তোমার নাম্বারটা তাড়াতাড়ি করে বলো। ঘন্টার পর তো গার্লফ্রেন্ডের লাগে ওয়েট করতে পারো, আর বন্ধুর লাগে 2 মিনিট ওয়েট করতে পারবা না? ও এখন আমার দোস্ত, তাইলে তো বন্ধু রিত লেগে গেল। আরে বেটা এত লাফাইস না, যেরকম শুনতেছি পরীর মতো এরকম করলে তো বেটা বাদ দে, কালকে যাত্রা দেখা হবে। ঠিক আছে মামা? ঠিক আছে মামা, ঠিক মতো যা। শালা পারলাম না রে। আরে তোর তো হাওয়াটা একটু হয়ে গেল। তুলি তুই তো সুন্দর নাম। আরে শুন, আমি জিসান, আই লাভ ইউ।
আপনাদের তো চিনলাম না। আমার বড় বোনের যে দেবরগুলো আছেন তো সবাইকেই চিনি, বাট আপনাদেরকে তো চিনি না।
তুমি পড়ো, ঘুমাও তাহলে। গুড নাইট আর বাই।
সহজে কোনো কিছু পাওয়ার মজা নাই, কিন্তু আমগো দোস্ত জিসান কি কম।
ও
ভাবি লাগে বেটা, লজ্জা লাগে না? কি অন কথা বাদ দে, পারো তুই যা।
জামুই তো।
তুই চুপ থাক।
আমি তো আপনাকে চিনি না।
চিনো না যে আজকে চিনলা, আরো চিনবা, আস্তে আস্তে চিনবা। আর শুনো,
কি রে মাম্মা, কই রে তুই? কতক্ষণ ধরে দাঁড়ায় থাকবো? কনসার্ট তো শুরু হয়ে যাবে। তাইলে তো বন্ধু রীত লেগে গেল।
আরে বেটা এত লাফাইস না, যেরকম শুনতেছি পরীর মতো এরকম করলে তো বেটা
যা,
পাল্লা তো ভালো।
দেখা যাক কি করে শালা।
বোবা, হ্যাঁ কথা বলতে পারো না?
জি।
বিআইন সাহেব, আসসালামু আলাইকুম বিআইন সাহেব।
এক্সকিউজ মি।
বলে দিবেন যে আমার বন্ধুর সাথে যেন ভালোভাবে প্রেম করে, নাইলে কিন্তু ঝামেলা আছে। যেদিকে তাকাই তোমায় দেখতে পাই, কিচ্ছু ভালো লাগে না।
বন্ধু, তুই যদি রক্ত দেস?
ভালো লাগে না রে দোস্ত।
না দুলা ভাই, আমি তো কোচিং এ যাই নাই। আমার তো বাসায় গেস্ট আসছে আর আমার আম্মু তো একা, এজন্য আমি যাই না। আমার পড়াশোনা সবকিছু বন্ধ করে দিবে, তখন আমি কি করব?
আরে ছাইরা দে।
কি করবি? সেই না চেহারা, না হলো কি চেহারা, কথা তো বেশি, চেহারা ওজন বেশি। আপনি না শুই না না দেখা সব জায়গা ফেলছেন বাবা।
রক্ত লাগবে রে।
রক্ত?
আসবো না মানে?
হ্যাঁ, তাই তো শুনলাম।
আসবো না, ঠিক আছে দেখতেছি ব্যাপারটা। যাও।
কি রে, তুই কোচিং এ যাস না কেন?
দোস্ত, আমি কোচিং এ কিভাবে যাব বল? এই গুন্ডাটা যে আমাকে ডিস্টার্ব করে, তুই দেখতেই তো পারছস, ডেইলি আমার পিছনে লাগে থাকে।
আমার ভালোবাসার গল্পটা অপূর্ণ রয়ে গেল।
গলবে, পাখির মন গলবে, এমন মন্ত্র দেব।
এভাবে রাস্তাঘাটে একটা মেয়েকে উত্তক্ত করে
আর নিজের গায়ে রক্ত দিয়ে
এই এই দুলাভাই সামনে থাকলে যে সালাম দিতে হয় আপনি শিখাই না তোরা?
যে কোচিং এর সামনে যে গুন্ডাটা দাঁড়িয়ে থাকে আমার তো মনে হয় পড়াশোনা সব বন্ধ করে দিবে।
আমি তোর প্রেমের গল্প সাকসেসফুল না, আমার কথা বিশ্বাস কর।
আমি শুধু একটু প্রেম ভালোবাসা চাই, আমি শুধু ওরেই চাই বাবা, আমি ওরে পালি হবে।
ওকে, আমি আপনাকে ভালোবাসি। আচ্ছা আপনার কাছে একটা প্রশ্ন, আমার তো অনেক ভয় লাগতেছে দোস্ত, এই যে আস্তে আস্তে সব মানুষ জানবে, তারপর আমার ফ্যামিলিকেও জানাই দিবে, আর আমার
এন্ড বেস্ট অফ লাক ফর ডক্টরশিপ। আমি দোয়া করি তুমি যেন একজন ভালো ডক্টর হও।